People just assume.
That's why I've been getting weird looks. Oh,
That must be
explains
it.
a lot.
That must be it. Now, so what would a gay guy sound like in Australia?
Okay.
Because here they have kind of like a lisp, maybe.
They do have a bit of a lisp.
A lot of times, a real upscale accent, you know.
Well,
So do they have like a Texan accent in Australia?
No, not that I've noticed. But it could be just in the privacy of their own homes.
Do they do this?
Yes, hence the term teapot.
Teapot. See, I already forgot about that. I'm so glad you reminded me.
Mm-hmm.
He's such a teapot. What a teapot. I'm so using that at studio next year. Okay. In America, the steering wheel, we know this, the steering wheel is on the left side.
Mm-hmm.
And in Australia, it is on the right.
Right.
In America, the toilet paper is on the left side of the toilet. So in Australia, is it on the right?
Well, I think that's a fairly insightful question. And to be fair, at my house it is on the right.
Sometimes it's on the right for people who
have
wires crossed. But
in Australia, you can get cars with licenses. You can get a special permit to have cars with steering wheel on the left side.
I would have to do that because I would have to bring my truck.
Well, typically it's only classic cars that are allowed to. Well, I'm not saying a car's not classic. Maybe it's a modern classic. Sorry.
Okay, next question.
Just saying like it is.
Next question. Okay, since y'all are in the southern hemisphere pretty much all the time, how do you prevent or deal with all the blood rushing to your head?
Well, Coldplay's second album?
Yes.
From Rush of Blood to the Head. They actually wrote it when they were in Australia.
I figured. Yeah. That's the only logical explanation.
Well, we tend to be a little bit redder in the face, but we've developed the capacity to hold our breath for periods of time to force it back down to our feet.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It can get a bit annoying, but you got to do what you got to do.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that people in Australia are more physically fit than people in America? Maybe even because of that?
It's entirely because of that, clearly. Nothing to do with the sort of food that's eaten here.
Now, America, especially in the last few years, there's been all this campaigning on obesity and making sure people are eating healthy and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And when we went to, where did we go? Canada. I think it was when we were in Canada. That was one of the things we noticed. There weren't any overweight, there were a few, but not as many overweight people. And we never really noticed it until we went to Canada. Is there less overweight people in Australia than here?
I think that's fair to say.
Really? Americans. Moving on. Name one American stereotype that you found is false and one that has been confirmed. Because you've been here enough to know.
Okay.
So let's start with the stereotype that is false.
Stereotype is false.
Hmm?
There is a stereotype that Americans are very loud, which isn't necessarily the case, I found.
Yeah. Okay, my boss is.
Well,
but he's from Canada.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
It's those Canadians. They're giving Americans a bad name.
Fine. Okay, now one that has been confirmed.
Confirmed. Well, I think that there is a stereotype that Americans are somewhat naive in terms of world affairs. And I think that is in some ways fair, in some ways unfair. In that there doesn't seem to be in the media a accurate and representative portrayal of what's happening in the world.
Yeah. Because I really,
You seem very knowledgeable about the world around you.
Yeah. It may come, obviously it comes across that way. And, I try to play it off and stuff, but really deep down inside, I really don't.
Really? You're surprised?
Especially when it comes to, communism and socialism or religion. No, that's much.
Gotcha.
So we still agree. Okay. Is there a difference between sinks that are made in Australia and sinks that are made in America?
That's an interesting question.
Have you noticed?
I have.
I'm so glad I asked this question. Continue.
Well, I see that oftentimes here there will be the plugs, like the stoppers that will be like in the spout. There'll be the little lever, and you push them up and down to block it. Australia, I've never seen that.
You've never seen a lever?
Never. It's always just a plug you put in.
See, okay, I'm glad you brought this up because there was a sink. Where was it? In my childhood, I think it was at my great grandma's house or something, and hers had a plug that you would put in, and like, I cannot touch that. I think it's disgusting.
Really?
Like, things have touched that plug. Food. This was in a kitchen sink. Like, food and more food and raw things and.
You mean pretty much the same thing that's touched the sink?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't touch. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't touch the inside of sinks either.
How do you wash your dishes?
Put them in the dishwasher.
Okay.
I mean, I rinse them in the sink, but I don't go and like put my hands on the sink.
So,
I mean, I touch things that have touched the sink, but I don't. It doesn't. I don't think about it.
Okay.
I think it's gross.
Have you ever considered cleaning a sink?
No, I do, but it's always like with the little spray. I never touch the sink.
I think maybe you might see a psychiatrist about that.
Also with bathtubs, if it plugs in the bathtub, nope. Because, I mean, nasty. And when I clean bathtubs, which I do, there's like a scrubby thing that I hold, and I never.
Well, I've never really thought about it, to be honest.
Okay. Well, maybe now.
Maybe
you
just
could
ruin my life.
You know, you could no. You could take that back to really
have a custom-made one.
Yeah, and well, countries, we should help each other. Obviously, you're helping me with the world affairs that I know nothing about because media, and I'm helping you with stopper plug thingies. So you can take that idea back to Australia.
There is much to learn between our mighty civilizations. Much trade can be generated.
You could bring over a dingo, cross it with a coyote. You get a diode.
You would, and then...
Or a kaingo. I like that one better.
I like that one too.
Okay, let's remember that for when I come.
Hopefully they won't take any babies.
Well, you can only hope.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, if parents were any good, they would.
Who knows, maybe we would cross a coyote and a dingo and get a kangaroo. You never know.
Maybe.
Anything's possible. That would be evolution. That's incorrect. Moving on. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, okay. Let's talk about your eating style because it's strange and we need to clear it up.
Okay.
And by strange, I don't mean like an insult. It's different to me.
Do you need me to get on the couch here? Is this what you're saying? It's strange. We need to talk about it.
Y'all don't eat on the couch?
I think you're misunderstanding me.
I think I am too.
Psychiatrist couch.
Oh. Yeah. No, because we, don't you, okay, now, I'm not saying it's strange as in, like, wrong. It's just different to me, So, let's just explain to our viewers. You get a fork.
Yeah.
Put it upside down with a little thing.
Yeah, like so.
Okay.
Can't really say. Anyway.
And then scoop the food onto it with a knife. You scoop the food onto the back of the fork with the knife.
Indeed.
And then place the fork in your mouth without spilling food somehow. I tried it the other day. Right?
That's right, yeah.
And that's really considered the polite way to do it, right? Which is, that's fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever wondered what the prongs on the fork are for?
For poking meat.
For poking meat.
Yeah.
And then removing the meat to put it on the back of your fork.
No, just stuff that's too small to poke. It's like you cut off a section.
So you do use the prongs?
Yeah, and then you can also use that as a little bit of a framework to put like corn or whatever on.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Hey, you're a quarter there. How's it?
I might change my eating styles. Okay.
See, our cultures have much to learn from each other.
I know. Next time, okay, just for one meal, I will do it your way, and I want you to stick that corn
okay.
and eat it like an American,
like
like a red-blooded American, and I'll eat it like a polite bloke.
Okay.
A Sheila. I'll eat it like a Sheila. Okay.